lands, smoky with their dreams that drift across the world like memories of ancient beauty dimly recalled. Lands full of the music of birds crying softly, a vague and formless meditation. This is one of my favorite Wilson Harris poems, Savannah Lines. I'm always searching for the infinity of traces. And I also embrace George Laming's urging to begin where you are. I try to do this by creating work that springs materially from our environment. The materials that I use are very deliberate. Ruku, calabash, feathers, coconut shell, all represent a material energy that recalls those infinity of traces from our Caribbean environment. Together, they mirror unremembered legacies embedded in our story. First, the knot of yourself you have to unravel. It's a trick. I would like to think that there is an ongoing dialogue between the hand, the head, and the heart. And this conversation fuels my experiments with material, thinking, dreaming, yearning, seeking. I'm curious about the unknown and subverted histories that need to be unearthed and shared. Stories which reveal our resilience and phenomenal power. So I regard my work not as objects, but as triggers of experience. My hope is that viewers will see themselves in the stories reflected in the pieces, and through imagination, enter more easily into a wholesome understanding or relationship with ancient futures and the approaching past. So, the eternal spirit of nature inspires yearning and seeking. Maybe I'll accept after all my commission as an apprentice spider who spins from her gut the threads for flying, for tying up words that spilled, hanging out tales long unspoken, reeling in songs, casting off dances, and perhaps for binding up wounds. With strips and remnants left over, and with bits and pieces of this kite I'm reeling in, I can make a costume for the dancing fools, the masqueraders who dress in rags and tatters. Igunigun, Junkanu, Pichipachi, Biero, and Gombe, the ones who dance the ancestors. Perhaps when they dance, they let the wind spin their strips and their tatters into thread flying ready to be climbed, or feather them into birds on the ascendant, their wings lightly stirring up the ocean below the Miller Passage. As a child growing up in Kingston, I had the benefit of occupying two distinct worlds daily, the urban landscape and a lush natural one.
Good.
Once home from school, we would walk to the backyard and push the gate. And this gate was like a portal. Beyond it was 9 acres of wild vegetation. We called it the bush. We would climb and cradle in the broad horizontal limbs of the plum tree, hide under the skirt of the bamboo grove, and eat whatever fruit was in season, mangoes, otite apples, tamarinds, everything.
You don't move so much, bird. You don't want to hurt you. Hi. Okay, we're putting you back with your sister here. Wait.
It must have been the rainfall. The
Yeah,
heavy
look.
rainfall.
Go back. Yay! Yay!
The bush offered respite and ongoing opportunities to experience delight and joy, a zone of discovery where our exploration seemed boundless. Looking back, it was a primal, fearless encounter with nature. We immersed ourselves in it as it nourished us. You learn to trust yourself with the unfamiliar and to surrender to the unknown when enveloped in nature. You discover beauty at its most majestic and mysterious. I am interested in nuance and beauty, and I utilize both as a tool. And this allows me deeper understanding of my roots and my community, while I question notions of identity, humanity, spirituality, and the legacy of the post-colonial experience. Through my practice, I try to dig deeper and deeper into our Caribbean roots and history to present who we are back to us in a way that is engaging and thought-provoking and maybe even difficult, but ultimately beautiful.